The Fury of Dracula digital edition is almost here, and today we're going to take a quick look at all the different characters and cards that you're going to run into here on Legendary Tactics. So we're just going to start out with the character sheets, and we're both new to the game. That's a really spooky Dracula on the left there, right?
That very much so is. It is. Mind you, John Stewart has the Holy Cross, so I think Dracula's doomed.
He does. He's going to protect us.
Yeah, that's right.
So, let's just take a quick look at the characters and just kind of give our thoughts. So, so Dr. John Stewart is one of the hunters. He's a physician. So one of the actions you can take as a hunter is to rest, and that normally heals 1 health. However, if you happen to be in Seward's space, then you get, basically
recovers 2 damage.
You recover 2 damage instead of the 1.
Yeah.
So that could be pretty useful.
Prepared, you can have up to 4 item cards and 4 event cards instead of 3. So that's kind of a nice, you get a little more flexibility in your hand as well.
Yeah, I think that's probably the better, I know we've just kind of played around with the game so far, but anytime it requires 2 hunters to be together, then you're not spreading out and, casting your net wide. So the problem is, I suppose if a character happens to be hurt and happens to be close and happens to be, it's great to recover 2 damage instead of 1.
Right.
But I think the more useful item, I would say, is to have more items available.
Yeah.
So.
Now, his health is only 9, and I'm not sure how that stacks up to the rest.
Well, the top guy has 11, so he's actually second.
Oh, is he? Okay, so
yeah.
He's a little more middling. So
he's not bad. But that's, and that's him. And then let's skip past Dracula. We'll go to Lord Godalming, and we'll come back to Dracula.
Dracula at the end, yeah. So Lord Godalming.
Yeah, so Lord Godalming, he's the bruiser of the group. Right, so
tough guy.
Yeah, and he always gains double. So if you're in a large city, you draw 2 item cards instead of 1, and when you reserve a ticket, you gain 2 tickets instead of 1. Okay. And he has 11 health, so you can probably load him up with weapons, I would imagine, pretty easily.
Right. Which will be good when you actually catch Dracula and confront him there.
Yeah, he's going to be the guy you're probably going to want facing Dracula, because Dracula starts with 15 health. And Godalming's not too far behind.
11 health is not bad. Yeah, that's the highest, eh?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, of the hunters. So.
Yeah.
So I'd say he's probably the one you want to load up with good weapons and move him quick to wherever Dracula turns up. And then on to the
Mina.
Yes,
Mina Harker, the psychic bond, and her ability is really great, actually.
Yes, I think
you can search a huge swath of area real quick.
Oh yeah, and that's, I think, probably, I would guess that's an early game kind of strategy, is to eliminate regions as soon as you can. So maybe in the last, we just started a game and mucked around just before this, and I think if you did a psychic search of France and a psychic search of Spain, you could have eliminated a good portion of the map,
like a third of the map. In 2 turns, right?
So hang around the borders and just kind of do a psychic bond, then move next door into the different region, do a psychic bond, and you can eliminate a lot of territory.
Yes, yeah, you can really narrow Dracula's location down quick.
Now, the bite token.
Yeah. Oh, yes.
Yeah.
So you're always weakened.
Yes. And so 1 item and 1 event card must always be revealed. So Dracula always has a bit of intel on what Mina's.
Yeah, and her health is the same. Yeah, that's right. Mind you, that pistol she has, man, that 6-shooter, look out.
Yeah, look out. And she's got 9 health, which is actually pretty tough.
That's not bad.
Yeah.
That's not bad, yeah.
So.
Now, that bite, I'm guessing, is the bite token, eh?
Yes.
She's got a bite mark there.
1 bite marker. So that means 1 event card, 1 item have to be revealed at all times. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then Van Helsing.
Oh, man. And I'm disappointed. He looks so wimpy in this one.
I know.
Doddering old man. Come on. That's not my Van Helsing that I know and love.
No. Now, as a leader, you can trade event cards instead of item cards, which may be handy. We don't have enough experience with the game yet, but I assume it is pretty good. But but the strong-willed, you have 2 bite spaces, so you're defeated when you would gain a 3rd bite token, and that's probably for the character. I'd have to double check the rules, but maybe when you take 2 bites, you're dead. I'm guessing.
Right.
But I'm this he's a little bit
allows
tougher that
for a
way.
3rd. Yeah. So he does have that extra ability. So
yes,
that is good.
So
all right.
yes, and then
Shall we move to
finally Dracula.
All right. So he's got
Now, he has
3
15
different
health.
sections, eh? Very tough.
Yes. So remember, he
Oh, and
needs
that
to get
bite he
the
gives.
influence
look
track to. Yeah, I know. Look at that animation. It's
when he
just
leaps
creeps up
at you
on
there.
yeah. So the rage is after a hunter is defeated, advance the influence track by 2 plus the number of despair tokens on the time track. We haven't really covered the despair tokens, but I think it's actually the number of turn. I think every turn that passes, 1 despair token gets added. So basically, if you defeat a hunter and you're later on in the game, you really begin to speed up the end of the game.
Yeah, it almost made me. You speaking about that made me wonder if it's almost in Dracula's advantage to get caught at some point where he can take out a easier character.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Possibly. If you can strike before the characters have a lot of items, for example.
Yeah. Exactly.
And they're forced to punch their way through
Through?
Dracula.
Yeah, which is going to be tough.
Yeah.
So with 15 health,
Yeah.
mind you, it might be like a desperation gamble, but it's an idea.
Yes. Yeah. Exactly. So, pride. So if Dracula plays either escape as mist or escape as bat before he has played a number of combat cards greater than the number of despair tokens on the time track, the card is canceled. So he has to stick in battle a certain length of time, and he has to play a number of combat cards greater than the number of despair tokens. So in other words, he has to stick around in battle. So that's kind of a neat mechanic. So he's not just like leaving battle right away.
Yeah.
He has to stick around long enough. So earlier in the game, maybe he only needs to stick around for 2 cards or 3 combat cards, but later on in the game, he's gonna have to hang in there even if he's losing.
Right. Yes. And then the Fury of Dracula. While 3 despair tokens are on the time track, each time you place a city location card or hide on the trail, advance the influence track by 3.
Yeah, so that's
pretty powerful.
Yeah, that's probably like again a timer, to force the issue. So
right, moving it up by 3 though, that's pretty good.
It only needs to be 13, so yeah.
If you can get 3, a 3-step there, that's pretty powerful.
Yeah, so I mean, really, it's all about timer, basically on running out the clock
on Dracula.
Yeah. So yeah. So I was thinking we could take a look at. I did scan the location cards here. Are just like they're just pictures of all the different spaces. But what I was thinking might be of interest would be the item cards.
Okay.
And the event cards, I think you need to kind of get into the game to really know, and likely the encounter cards as well. So I was thinking maybe we could look at the item cards and maybe the power
Let's
cards.
walk through those. Yeah.
Feel like it. Yeah.
So with the item cards, we have Crucifix right off the hop.
Yes, and that cancels. So the way the items work, do you see on the bottom of the animation there how it has the fangs, the fog, and the mesmerize? So those are the effects. It's like to make it easier to just quickly glance.
Oh, I see. Okay, yeah.
So it cancels fangs and the eye and the evil eye and the fog, which is mesmerize. So if this canceled fangs or mesmerize, the vampire suffers 3 damage. So in other words, if the vampire attacks with fangs or mesmerize, they might regret it.
Aha! All right, so it can be a very powerful card.
Yeah, but you're gonna have to guess when the vampire is gonna do that.
Playing
too.
it, yeah, that's gonna be a trick. Yeah.
So yeah.
Dodge.
Dodge, yes. So again, that just blocks either bite, punch, or claw, I'm guessing.
All right, so it's a good tactical defensive play.
Yep. Yeah, just a defensive card. Because you can't play the same card twice, so you can't like punch. You have to alter. You can't use the same cards all the time. So you could do punch, dodge, and I don't know, maybe pick a different one after that. So
Right.
and then the next one is dogs. And these are like the cutest dogs ever.
I was
Like,
gonna say they look like little Scottish terriers.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, I don't know if Dracula is going to be too scared of these things.
Mind you, those teeth on them look a little more fearsome. So
Yes. But where it's useful is, when Dracula leaves traps behind, they leave behind cards like Rats, which does damage, and Saboteur and Spy, where it can see the item
Or
cards that you
wolves,
have and
yeah.
everything, or wolves. But it blocks that card. It basically discards it. And so if you're ambushed by rats, so if you move into a space like you might remember how you were sitting on Madrid.
yes.
If that's an ambush card and you don't search, I can just I can flip it up and ambush you with it.
Oh, excellent.
But
Okay,
I couldn't
so-
do it with that particular card. So
Right, dogs would block that.
the dogs would block those 4 cards from doing
play.
ambush.
Okay,
That's
so it's
pretty
actually
useful.
a nice. I get another defensive block there. It's
Yeah, and they're very cute.
good. They are very cute.
Yeah. And escape. So just leave combat. Get out of dodge.
Yes. So that's a good bailout maneuver if you have to.
Yes. Yeah. So next up is fast horses. So reveal this action as an action during the day, and reveal 1 ticket from the pool. Move a number of roads up to the yellow number on the tickets. That allows you to do like the carriage maneuver.
Okay.
Just moving 1 space normally, but this allows you to use the number on the train ticket, which could be up to I think 3 or 4 maybe.
Okay, so yeah, you can actually really get yourself into a better spot.
Yeah, but the risk is if you flip up the ticket and there's no yellow number, then you just move 1 road and you waste your.
It's a waste,
advantage.
but it's a gamble.
Yeah, it's a gamble, but if you're looking to move fast, because I think once Dracula is once you know roughly where it is, you want to like zoom in and get there real quick, and then potentially use some garlic.
And I'll tell you that sheath of garlic is pretty intimidating for Dracula. I'll bet.
For sure, I'll bet.
Look at those bulbs there.
So
now this seems a little bit. It seems very specific because you have to be engaged, a hunter. You have to have. And
it just means
fangs
you're
or
in
claws.
combat, right? So
Yeah. So if fangs or claws was played, then the vampire suffers 2.
yeah. So what you may use this for is like if you think that fangs or claws are coming up next because the last card was not that, or the last 2 cards were not that, or something, you may kind of time it, and if you time it right, then you get to deal 2 damage. Otherwise, I guess that's all
It's
it
a
does.
waste. Yeah.
It's a bit of a risk, but maybe there's a lot of that bluffing in this game.
So even better than the garlic is the garlic wreath.
Yes.
Reveal this card before cards are chosen during the first round of combat. Until the end of this combat, after you suffer damage, not a bite, from fangs, the vampire suffers 4 damage.
Oh, that's pretty powerful. Wow.
Yes. Cancel
Okay,
and
'cause
discard this
that-
card
so-
if clause is resolved against you. Otherwise, discard this card at the end of combat. Okay.
Yikes. So that's basically a card you play right at the beginning, and
Yep.
it stays face up. So after you suffered any damage from fangs, the vampire
All
suffers
right, so
4
basically
damage.
you
So
are
that's
kind of like defensively prepared.
protecting. Well, it makes
Yeah.
it makes it pretty deadly for them to use the fangs card.
Well, they
so-
can't really easily.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Now, I wonder, would Dracula ever be in a position where that's all they have? The only option they have is the fangs.
well, I think they've always got a choice of other cards, but they may not be ones that do any damage or whatever. So, like, but if you use claws, then it cancels claws, but you lose both cards. So it kind of gives you a bit of a shield, I would say. Probably Dracula is going to be able to knock it off you at some point, but it does give you the opportunity to do some damage that is going to be, essentially unblocked. So,
Right. Heavenly Host.
yeah.
If you are the engaged hunter and fangs was
animation.
played, you are bitten and removed from this combat. And discard this card. Otherwise, the vampire suffers 4 and discard this card. Oh, so it's a 4 banger. Wow.
Wow, yeah. So you have to know that Fangs was not played. then you can do 4 damage as long as you know that Fangs is not coming.
So basically, this is another early combat card I would suggest, because you want to be basically gambling Fangs isn't coming out right off the hop.
Well, yeah, but you may wait until Fangs gets played, and then you can play this the next round and then do 4 damage, right? I don't know.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Maybe, yeah. I'm just guessing.
Oh, right. Because I read that as if Fangs has been played at all.
Yeah.
But maybe not. Maybe if it has to be played that action round.
So you can see where if you have, the garlic wreath and you've got a few, you've got a few of these items.
There's some nice combos you could put together here. Really knock Dracula down.
Makes it a lot easier to do some damage. So, holy bullets, Batman.
Yes.
I'm sure I'm not the first person to have made that comment.
No, probably not. No. But indeed.
Yeah.
Discard this card after you resolve a rifle or pistol card. The vampire suffers 3 additional damage. Only 1 holy bullets can be used in each combat.
So if you use your rifle or pistol, you do extra damage basically. So
I wonder if there's multiples of this card, because it says only 1 can be used.
Yeah, there must be, but you can only use 1 per combat. So
right.
Which leads to the Holy Circle. Choose 1 or more hunters to be removed from this combat, then discard this card. So
why would you do that one?
Guessing if someone's hurt and you want to get them out.
Oh, it's okay.
That's probably
what that makes sense. It's a defensive. Yeah.
It's a defensive thing to get someone out of combat.
That makes sense.
I don't know. It blocks all that. I think it blocks all those items. Look at all the different.
Okay, so basically anything Dracula throws at him, you're blocking.
Yeah. The knife. Yeah, that's pretty straightforward. 3 damage.
Yeah. Actually, you know what? That's pretty punishing.
Yeah. It's like a Crocodile Dundee knife.
When we've been looking at all the other things, there's 3 damage right there with 1 shot and no prerequisites. That's pretty good.
That's pretty good. And the pistol, just
same
2 damage,
thing, but with
unless
2 damage,
you use the holy bullets, and then it's 5 damage.
Oh,
so that's pretty. Yeah, so you can see if the hunters start getting a lot of items, you don't want to be in combat. Like if you're Dracula, you kind of want to stay out of it, because you could take some serious damage, especially if you get hit one after. You have hunter one after the other coming at you.
And speaking of getting hit, punch. And look at that shot Dracula takes right to the cheek.
I know.
Oh, with the little blood spray. Now,
I know.
It looks like Mina might have a single drop of blood coming off her bottom lip there. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. But that I thought was hilarious in that first demo.
Yeah, that was great.
Mina takes punches Dracula
right in the ear. Oh, jeez.
Well, that's probably your basic attack, but anyway, the rifle is 2 damage as well. You'd think it'd be more, but I guess again with holy bullets you got 5, so
yeah.
Okay, if you're up against a couple of hunters, one with a rifle and one with a pistol, and they both come at you with holy bullets as well, they can do a lot of damage, man. Like they can really
whittle down Dracula pretty quick.
And then the stake.
Reveal this card before you search. If you reveal a vampire encounter or hoax, discard both this card and that card. Okay.
So when Dracula's wandering around and leaves a card behind, basically typically it's going to be a vampire, typically or a trap of some kind, or a hoax, which is just delays you. So you can cancel that with this card. So
I mean the stake seems a little bit less intimidating than some of the other items we've seen, but it can still, I guess, come in handy.
Yeah,
it's got its use there.
My guess is that you want to get the pistol and rifle and holy bullets together.
The holy bullets, those seem like the most key cards to really get in hand.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Well, because there is a trade action, so if one hunter gets the pistol and the other one gets the holy bullets, you can actually, get together in the same spot and swap items or whatever. So that'd be where that comes in useful. And then just lastly, I thought we could check out the combat cards.
Sure.
if you want. We can zip through
Yeah.
those and take while we're here, and then we'll take a look at the power cards as well. There's probably not that many. So these are Dracula's attacks. So these are the cards that Dracula uses. So there's Claws, and we talked about that one. That does 2 damage on the hunter. Then if it's night, choose any hunter in this combat to suffer 2 damage. So if you're being attacked by 2 hunters at once, you can share the wealth.
Yeah. And one thing I've just got to say about these cards and about I'm really impressed with the cinematic in this game.
Oh yeah,
It looks they've just really the creators and designers have made this game really jump out at you and really shines.
Yeah. I think it's it definitely has that ambiance of Gothic.
Oh man, they've made the theme so they've just keyed in right on the theme so well.
Yes. Yeah.
So speaking of which, escape as a bat.
Yes. So if it's night and Dracula is in the combat, you may clear your current hideout and secretly choose a city up to 2 roads away that's not occupied by a hunter. Place its location card face down and escape as bat face up in this hideout.
So is it like a quick escape for Dracula?
Yeah, but he has to stay in long enough, based on the despair token. So he has to stay long enough in the battle, to before he can use this card. But otherwise, yes, he can.
So he can get away.
And secretly choose a city up to a couple roads away. So that's probably basically one of the ways he can escape.
Like a bailout.
And then the other one is just escape as mist, where this combat ends. And I assume everyone just stays in the same space, so Dracula has to just move normally to get away, as far as I'm aware.
Yeah.
So that's not as powerful, obviously, but.
And fangs. We came across fangs a few times in the in the items card. So recover 2 damage. If it is night, the engaged hunter is mesmerized and they are bitten and removed from this combat. Then advance the influence track by 1. Otherwise, the engaged hunter suffers 2 damage.
Yes. So this is where you want to engage Dracula at dawn, because the battle happens either at dusk or dawn. So but this is the only card I think where you can actually heal. That's actually pretty gory. So that
it is. They've again done well in the cinematics.
Yeah, yes. For sure. So mesmerized cancels the engaged hunter's combat card. That hunter is mesmerized. You suffer 1 fewer damage from the weapon, and keep this card face up until.
But really, though, the Fangs comes with a real risk because there are a number of item cards that are like keyed in on Fangs. So
yes.
To play this as Dracula, I'd be reticent to play it because you gotta be really in the right gambling mood to drop that down.
Yep. Oh, absolutely. So mesmerized is kind of I guess as well, like, because you can gang up on Dracula, if you can move in 2 or 3 hunters, I mean that can be also pretty deadly too.
Oh yeah.
You don't want to be. You don't want to be caught by 2 or 3 at once. That's for sure. But at least this kind of like minimizes the weapons that the weapon damage can kind of, take a rifle down from 2 to 1 and make it little less heavy. Now the next card is plotting, and this is kind of an interesting one. So you can search the combat deck for 1 card of your choice and place the chosen card in your hand and shuffle the combat deck. Keep this card face up until the end of combat. So the plotting card stays face up, and you can flip it face down to cancel a punch, dodge, or escape.
Oh, neat. Okay.
So not only can you use it to choose the combat card you want, but then you can actually use it to block. Probably a dodge or escape would be more useful to block than a punch, but I don't know. If you've only got 1 health left.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's all they might, and that's all they might be able to play at you. So.
Yep. Yeah. And finally, strength.
The engaged hunter suffers 2 damage if they played punch, crucifix, or a weapon card. Cancel that card. If it is night, they played crucifix or weapon card. Discard that card.
Okay. So the engaged, so. It can cancel a punch, a crucifix, or a weapon, and it can actually make you drop your crucifix or the weapon if it's at night.
Oh, geez, yeah, that
So
could be.
That's pretty powerful.
Yeah.
So those are the combat cards that Dracula has available. Then finally, we'll take a quick look at the power cards, and these ones are. I think these are actually kind of optional. It's an optional play. I haven't run into these in the tutorials or the games that I've played. So these are basically, I guess, kind of gambles. Like a Dark Call, you place this card on the trail, but you suffer 2 damage and draw 5 encounter cards. So it's like...
All right, so you can basically stack your hand with this card.
Yeah. The next one is Feed. And again, another pretty gory animation, but...
Oh, yes. When you place this card on the trails, recover 3 damage. Okay,
yes.
So it's another way to recoup some health.
Recoup some health. So high.
But I'm guessing that card will show right where you are, or show where you're recovering, right?
Well, probably you place it face up, so it probably means that there's no trap there. There's nothing like... Because remember, you want cards to slide off the edge so that you can... get the powerful event effects.
Okay. Yes.
But with this one, I think it's probably is you get that benefit, but you don't get any negative effects. As far as the hunters don't have to worry about that card.
Yes.
Right.
So that leads us to hide.
Yes.
Place this card face down on the trail. If the location card to the right of the space is revealed, reveal this card too. And you place an encounter card on this card. The matured effect of that card cannot be resolved.
Okay, so it kind of hits with two
effects, two cards.
But the matured effect of that card cannot be resolved. That's kind of interesting. So the matured effect is after it slides off the track, and that's like what you want, I would imagine. So I guess it's depending on the effect. I guess maybe there's a strategy.
Maybe you want to like cancel. Maybe you want to cancel it for some reason.
Well, or maybe it's just you can throw down some fog or something, like just to kind of, it can potentially just cloud your trail a little bit. But I don't know. That's a weird one. I'm sure it's useful in some circumstances. Misdirect. So clear a hideout on any space of the trail that is not your current location. And place misdirect on that space. Then choose a location to place on the first space of the trail. So that is to, I think,
throw them off the scent.
Yeah, basically throw them off the scent. So you can swap a card.
I could see that card being really annoying, actually.
Yeah, because that could be.
You start heading the wrong direction. Ugh.
Yeah. That's kind of an interesting one. And then wolf form. When you place this card on the trail, choose a city up to 2 roads away. Place that city's location card on top of this card, then suffer 1 damage. Interesting.
So that's weird. It's kind of like a bittersweet there, because you do have to take a hit for it.
Yes. But you get an additional city's location card on top of this card, so that can potentially have some negative effects. So yeah, like the power cards are actually they're listed as kind of an advanced rule, so it's another level of play that you can move up to. So that's pretty interesting. So yeah, I just thought it would be a good idea to just kind of take a look at those things. As I said, the event cards and the location cards, there's nothing really to say about them.
It's literally just places on the map.
More, best suited to just go through. There's probably a lot more of them too, so I wanted to keep this within reasonable time. So anyway, any other kind of final thoughts on the interactions that you
I think it's really neat how the item cards and then Dracula's cards kind of they kind of interrelate, and you have to really be very cagey with how you play both sets, both sides.
Yeah, so and you're going to have to try and time things. You're going to have to try and guess when he's going to attack and try and block it or play a card that turns it back.
Or on the other hand, anticipate what he's going to play and then do your best to respond.
Yes, yeah. But I can see if you get a rifle, you get a pistol, you get some holy bullets going, like Dracula's gonna be running in fear.
Yeah,
that's gonna be pretty powerful.
it'll be a lot of damage if he gets caught.
Yeah. Yeah,
So-
it's interesting because I mean, seeing the items. I mean, Dracula's got some cool effects, and I'm sure this game. I mean, this game's been around a long time. I'm sure it's pretty balanced, but it feels like, man, if Dracula gets cornered, he doesn't have that much of a chance. You know?
Yeah, that's true.
Especially if they've
although
got some items.
although
like-
from the brief play I've had, it seems very tough to actually catch Dracula.
yes,
that is like
was true.
90% of the battle right there is just
Yeah.
hunting him down. So
Yeah. So, but I think it was good to just kind of zip through some of these, some of the cards and get a sense of you know, what's available and some interactions that way. And we hope you found this valuable. It's been kind of fun to explore. So,
yes, if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe. And this has been
Legendary Tactics.
Tactics.